The Mount Moon Review podcast, while a podcast about Pokemon, is not intended for children. You can expect some instances of adult humor, coarse language, and adult situations. Parental discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mount Moon Review Podcast, the only podcast guaranteed not to put Snorlax to sleep. I am your host, the Razgrees, with my co-host, the Blue Duck Gold Duck, bringing you this week's installment of everything you could possibly ever want to know about the world of Pokemon in about an hour. Duck, how the heck you been this week, buddy?
My week? It was good. It was good.
That's it? It was good?
I didn't have a good time in the Galar Beginnings tournament.
Galar Beginnings. You know, here's the thing. Like we were talking about Galar Beginnings, and I was actually, oddly enough, I was doing better than you. Not much, but I was ranked a little bit higher until this morning. This morning I decided, you know what, I'm going to stream because I'm actually doing pretty well with this. So I'm going to stream all 15 of my matches. Well, I got to about 10 matches in and said, screw this nonsense. I am tired of embarrassing myself. And I went ahead and just said, okay, we've been going for almost 2 hours. Let's go ahead and stop. I got off stream and with 5 matches left to go, and I won all 5 of them. So I can't win. I just can't win. But you all but rage quit, man. What the heck?
Yeah. You ever bring the wrong deck to a tournament?
Yeah, I've done that.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
There was that last minute change I had to make because of game mechanics and stuff. So.
Yeah, but there was also the fact that you didn't realize that Dynamaxing or Gmax was allowed in the tournament.
Yeah.
And
that would have been nice.
Would have been nice to know. Unfortunately, a little bit of a misread. So unfortunately, both of us ran with teams that are okay,
subpar,
but not they're not in the meta. Unfortunately, so I ended. I'm going to look at. Actually, it should have ended officially here about 40 minutes ago. So I'll log in later on after the podcast and see how I actually ended up. But I don't suspect I ended very high. Did you actually finish your matches out?
No.
You just gave it up?
There wasn't any really. It's just a participation prize. So as long as you played like one match, there wasn't really a benefit to playing in them all.
Yeah, it's practice.
So. But it wasn't practice because I was changing my deck. So,
okay.
I wasn't practice. I was practicing for something I wasn't going to play.
So the Galar Beginnings event, it's an official event, but it's not for championship points. It is simply something that's sanctioned and created by Pokemon. Everyone, including myself, was like, "Yeah, we're going to use this to practice, and we're going to do great." And then this week, the new updated rules came out that will take effect in January when Sword and Shield becomes the standard for VGC play, and they are sticking with doubles. So, whereas
I didn't ever think I don't think they've ever done singles.
I don't know if they have either. I'm not a VGC guy. I've always been TCG, and this is a big switch for me. So, but with the Galar Beginnings, I thought, oh, okay, this is the way it's going to be. And then I thought, oh no, it's doubles. So this whole thing has been an exercise in futility. So
I don't know what formats they used like in Gen 1 or Gen 2, or if they even had like an official tournament system. But I know like the first, if you go back and look at VGC Worlds, it goes back to like 2008 when Diamond and Pearl were the newest games, and they're in doubles in those videos.
It very well may have been always doubles. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a VGC guy. I'm starting to watch the VGC YouTubers and stuff of that nature, and trying to figure out what I'm going to do with that. That being said, we are looking to host a Mount Moon Invitational tournament. For anybody who's interested. You just have to get on our Discord, and if you get on the Discord, just say, hey, I'd like to be a part of this. then we will send you a link code, and boom, you'll be in. And we're going to have a tournament probably about a week or so, maybe a little bit longer, depending on interest. I'd like to get as many people in there as possible. So if you're at all interested, get on our Discord now and tell us what kind of rules you'd like to see. You know, do you want to do singles? You want to do doubles? Do you want to anything that we can change up? You know, it's on the table. This is completely by the fans, for the fans. So anything you want to see on there, let us know. We'll try to hook it up. Do you have anything you'd like to see on it, Duck?
I like 6v6 singles, but I know a lot of people don't like singles, so I'm fine if we do VGC. And it's probably best to do VGC for the first couple times. That way people are practicing for what they're going to play. Like as you build your VGC team for VGC, you're also building a team for the tournament instead of building like this completely team, like a completely different build for something that you're only going to use for our tournament once. You know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying totally. I was thinking maybe singles because the people that built the teams for the Galar Beginnings, but you know, I still need to make a doubles team anyway, so I'm not against doing it as doubles. But whatever people want, that's what we'll do.
I'm fine. I'm basically breeding everything out as I go. You know what I mean? I have a couple people working on the Pokemon like with me, so
yeah, he's got his minions working and doing his eugenics program over there.
Yeah, I got the guy breeding, and I EV train everything, and then it's just like a little trade-off we're doing.
Right on, right on.
I've even been breeding some of my own that are kind of unorthodox.
I've started working my way through the doubles ladder. Got to the Pokeball level today, and I stopped. I'm going to continue to grind that out because for nothing else, I want the bottle caps and the BPs and everything else.
Like the actual ladder, like online?
No, the battle tower. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, just trying to get the stuff out of there. But no, I haven't actually created my own doubles team yet. I'm definitely got to get with you on that one and figure out what I'm gonna do on there. You did send me a rental code from a gentleman who was I believe champion in 2016.
Yep.
And everyone seems to be relying on that. And we were talking about this before the podcast. People, don't do that. For the love of God, don't do that, because
you'll get some free wins at the bottom of the ladder. But
yeah, I mean, people
the better players are going to be building teams to counter this team.
They're going to be building specifically to counter this team. So do yourself a favor, man. Don't do that.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, it's going to be a lot of mirrors, and that's a tough one to figure out.
Yeah, I can definitely see where that would be. So, Duck, where do you want to start at this week? I know you. We had an idea about what we were going to do tonight. We actually had a whole thing planned out where we were going to have a guest host on, and we were going to have this debate about ethics. And unfortunately, our guest host did not take into account that they are on the West Coast, so the timing just wasn't going to work out with our work schedules. So here we are. You're stuck with just Duck and I, and this is, I think, the third time we've tried to have a guest host on, and every time it just last minute it falls through, which just reiterates the fact that we are so lucky to have found one another to do this podcast. So, where you want to start at this week?
Let's do TCG first.
All right, what do you got on TCG front?
TCG.
We used to.
I know. So, I guess basically one of the newest pieces of news is that we're gonna get a tag team power collection in March, and it's going to feature some different tag teams, and it's probably just some of the ones we haven't seen yet. There's still some like alternate arts of like Deoxys and Espeon, Umbreon, and Darkrai. The baby trio. There's about 17 cards we don't have the full arts for. I think Weavile is one we need still.
So is this gonna be a subset like Dragon Majesty or something of that nature?
No, it's gonna be like a box of promos.
Oh, okay. It's one of the promo boxes. Okay.
It's only $40 though. Like I was assuming we'd get $100 box that had, all the stuff that we were missing, kind of like the X and Y premium collection box that they released a couple years ago.
So is this kind of like a version of the GX boxes?
What?
Is this kind of like a version of the GX boxes they released in Japan?
Yeah, they had that the tag team All Stars set in Japan. I think it's gonna be some of the artworks we didn't get because we never had that set.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So,
Yeah,
it's
only $40 though. That's the thing.
well, it's
Usually,
they're not going to be collector's
$40
items
box.
because if you just go out and buy the box, then you're guaranteed to get the card. So it's not like they're going to be. Don't go out there and like buy all these boxes up, folks, because they're not going to make you the next Pokemon millionaire.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that thought that N was going to be worth over $100, so they bought a lot of the $100 boxes to, profit after they sold the N, and the N was worth like $60.
And then quickly plummeted.
Yeah,
There's. I will not, and you better not mention any of the groups. But there's a couple groups I know we both belong to, where people will, every time a new set comes out, they will go out to like their Targets, their WalMarts, their GameStops, whatever, and buy every single one of them. And they'll like, here's the picture of my cart with all my boxes. And the only thing I can ever think of is one, just buy some lottery tickets, dude. It's the same thing. But, and the other thing is, what about that kid who he doesn't care. He just wants a shiny card. And he's very happy to open his pack up and say, "Ooh, I got a full art." Doesn't even know what the proper name for it is. He just knows it's special. And people out there that are trying to do these get rich quick things, you're probably going to fail, and you are really hurting the next generation of people coming in. And if they are disillusioned by the whole thing and don't want to be involved with it anymore, you're not going to have anybody to sell those cards to. They're going to just go away. So that's just me. I know people are still going to do it. I'm not going to stop them. So, but it really pains me. What was that last set that came out? Hidden Fates. I have still yet to see a Hidden Fates in stores. And I was never able to get my kids the Hidden Fates boxes ever. And it's just it kind of just burned my butt a little bit.
Yeah, I mean it's not just on people buying because somebody's going to do it. It's on like retailers too. Either it's like distributors need to distribute more, or retailers need to limit how many people can buy.
Well, therein lies your big thing, though. Most of your retailers have zero respect for the product. Zero. Right. Let me look at it. I can tell you right now, any Walmart in the United States, I can tell you where the product is. There's going to be a small amount back in the toy section. That's going to be the blister packs that have the coin in them. Maybe some old 2 generation back tins, and then the bulk of the product will be on the end of the registers right next to the door. It always is. And it's there simply as impulse purchases because they know people will let their kids go over there and look at the stuff while they're waiting in a checkout line. And then they may or may not buy a pack or two or one of those stupid boxes. But that's your Walmarts, your Targets, your big box retailers, that's the way they are. Your GameStops, for example, they have the product, but they don't educate their employees on there, or the employees just don't care about it. So there's no knowledge there. So you're talking about your real retailers just don't have any respect for the product, and you're not going to have them limiting that because they just want it off their shelves. So
yeah, I mean it's hard to be like, hey, you guys shouldn't let people buy 13 boxes of this when they have other product from 2 years ago that's never sold.
Yeah, they want that crap out of there because look,
right.
I mean, look at the tins. Yeah, buy this tin. It's got this latest, greatest holo card in there, and 5 of the old ones that we can't sell. I mean, I guarantee you, there's still stuff on the shelf that has Generations and Steam Siege and stuff in it. It always does. So they're just trying to move that old product, and so the retailers, that's never going to change.
Yep, unfortunately.
Yep. So we're getting the new sets. That's just awesome. I'm sure people will clamor for those. But
also, so we went over the Sword and Shield, a couple of the leaks because the whole set leaked last week. Now they leaked all the ultra rares and secret rares and stuff. And there's a couple changes to the traditional format we saw in Sun and Moon.
Oh, do tell.
So in Sun and Moon, they added a whole nother level of rarity. Trainers and Pokemon used to just be the regular art and then the full art.
Yeah.
And then they added the rainbow rare. So that now rainbow rare was only
Pokemon.
Like Pokemon, and then like they would have like a gold secret rare for some of the items. Well, now they're changing it so that the Pokemon V are full arts and the Pokemon V Max are rainbow rares. So there's not going to be any, from what we can tell, there's not going to be any full art V Max Pokemon, and there's not going to be any rainbow rare V Pokemon.
Okay, I mean that makes a little bit of sense too. I mean, it's since the V cards for
right.
I'm sorry, that's gonna be the butt of so many jokes. Every card we have seen is full art. And they look good. They really do. I like the art on them. But that,
yeah, I don't ever like the rainbow rares, but I like how they're doing different colors now. Hopefully, it's easier to tell what you're looking at when you're looking at it on screen.
Yeah, a lot of times when people are using even the full arts in some cases, but the rainbow rares especially, whenever you're trying to watch that on stream, for example, it is horrible to try to figure out what the heck you're looking at, and the commentators even are on there like,
Yep. So maybe you can tell the difference now. They started the different color thing in the rainbow, in Cosmic Eclipse. So maybe.
But so for those of you that watch us on our video format or live on Twitch, we have on screen right now a Snorlax VMAX card with its rainbow rare counterpart, and the art is different, which is traditional for the rainbow rares. It is a slightly different art, and we're seeing its Gigantamax form that we first saw in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and which there is an event going on right now. If you're at all interested in getting that, it's easier to find right now. It wasn't out when the game first came out, I don't believe. Is that correct?
It wasn't.
Okay.
Yep. It was in the data mine, but it wasn't in the game, and so we never talked about it. But there are a couple more that we saw in the data mines, but we're gonna wait till they're officially revealed to talk about them on the podcast.
Because we are spoiler free, folks.
Right, and I think it's nice to respect the company that actually makes it all. Let them be the ones to reveal it.
Yeah, and there was a very, mostly on Twitter, there was a campaign going on that, Japanese companies, they're very akin to their company's morale. And it came out that Game Freak's morale was like an all-time low, as well as the Pokemon Company, because people were just crapping all over Sword and Shield before it came out. So there was this big campaign of people writing into Game Freak and Pokemon saying, we love your product. Don't listen to these haters, and part of it that they were so down on was the leaks, because they were tried really hard to try and make a good product that had surprises in there, and the fact that they actually thought they were going to keep it secret is, kind of mind blowing. But
I have a friend that's in the camp that nothing is actually ever data mined. They do that to get publicity,
and it's possible. It is. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm not going to say that's what happened in this particular scenario, but it did seem genuine that they were upset. So, and Nintendo was going after people hard, trying to keep their stuff. So I have a feeling in this particular instance, this was not leaked. And leaked by someone from internally.
Right.
So, okay.
Well, we just went down a little score bunny hole there, but there is more TCG news. They are actually adding the rainbow art rarity to supporters.
Indeed.
So, in the set leaks, we have a full art of Marnie and a rainbow rare of Marnie, which means same way that for the Sun and Moon block, a lot of the regular arts and the full arts were actually down lower than like the average price of regular art and full art Pokemon EX. Now we're going to see that happen to supporter cards because The big money cards are going to be the rainbow rares.
Yeah, and in this particular instance too, the Marnies, the art is the same. It's just one is colored the way it should be, and the other one's the rainbow.
Right.
But it differs from the Snorlax that had its alternate art form. This is not an alternate.
Well, that was two different cards.
Was it really?
Yeah, the V and the V Max.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, but okay, well, it's the same art.
Yeah.
But I personally hate rainbow rares.
I never liked them either. I don't
think
like
they're
gold.
I think they're fugly.
I like silver better than gold, but I just never really liked these much.
Yeah, I'll take the full arts, man.
I love full arts. Pretty much full art is what I go for when I was trying to like bling out my deck. Except I never worried about full art trainers because they were so expensive. Now they're gonna be a little bit less expensive, so we'll see. Good luck to all those full art trainers. I hope you don't also collect rainbow rares, or the full art. The people that collect all the full arts.
Yeah, really.
It's gonna be easier to collect them, unless you start collecting rainbow rares too. Then it's gonna be harder.
Yeah, enjoy that, folks. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'll take the cheapest card I can get my hands on. I'll take the one that's scuffed up, and as long as it's still legal, I'll run it. Okay, so
that's it for TCG.
That's it for TCG.
Yep.
Well, see, we've been very VGC centric lately, and I'm sorry for that.
Well, there was a lot more news.
There was.
For video game.
As it pertains to TCG, it may not be the cards, but there is a whole new product line coming out, from what I understand.
For TCG?
Yeah. You sent me the images, Doc.
Oh, yeah, that's yeah. I've in the news articles I read and stuff, I always see like the Ultra Pro products, and there was a guy that listens to our podcast at a shop one time. He picked up a product and was like in awe of it, and I'm like, that was revealed like a long time ago. So I figured since Ultra Pro is revealing something else again, I would put it in the podcast.
Right on. So we've had some product lines coming out that are going to feature, and this doesn't make any sense to me at all, but it is what it is. Charizard and Squirtle. I don't get it.
Why not Blastoise?
Yeah, why not Blastoise?
Or like, I really like the ones where it's the Charmander standing in front of a Charizard silhouette.
That's actually kind of neat. I do like that. It's kind of a neat thing. But yeah, Ultra Pro is coming out with a whole new product line of Pokemon stuff. It's going to be the binders that have the pages already inserted in there. You can't add them or change them out or anything like that.
They do have the version where you can add them.
Do they have that also? Because that's not usually something Ultra Pro does.
Yep, they have them. They have that, playmats, deck boxes, and sleeves.
Now, traditionally, official Pokemon sleeves are garbage. Complete and utter trash. If you get sleeves out of an Elite Trainer box, typically what I would do is I threw them into a bag that I would give them to kids that came to the Pokemon League for the first time.
Yep, I have a whole ETB full of them. I just give them out whenever somebody needs sleeves, or like they pull a rare card and don't have sleeves on them.
Yeah, or they're desperate. I'm wondering, Ultra Pros aren't horrible. They're not the best. I personally use Eclipse.
These ones won't be good. They're not matte.
Okay, then they're...
The thing you want to go for on sleeves is a matte finish or a double matte. That's the one where it's kind of like bumpy and, leathery kind of.
Yeah, and that's what the Eclipse are. They're like a high-end Ultra Pro.
Right. And the regular Ultra Pro is what I swear by.
So there you
go. One,
because
they're the only one that makes that color, and, two, they're the cheapest.
Yeah, that's another thing, folks. Don't change the color of your bloody sleeves. I run one color, period. And I have them all in Elite Trainer boxes. That way I can switch decks around without having to re-sleeve all the time. That, and if I do rip a sleeve, I always know I have them. So, pro tip.
Yep. And I never broke one of the Ultra Pro sleeves of the color I used.
Well, there you go. I mean, I
used it for like 4 years.
I don't think I've ever ripped an Eclipse sleeve. I know my son has.
I ripped one in half because somebody said it was impossible. So
you're like, rip?
But yeah, they said you can't even rip it apart like if you try with your hands. And then so I did. I'm like, yeah, okay. And I have seen one rip. So
Okay.
I just change sleeves after every premiere event. So why, you're not gonna. I never use sleeves to the point where they start ripping. So there's no point in spending a lot of money on, better sleeves.
Yeah, I mean, really, and people run out there and try to get the latest greatest deck boxes too. I have a little baggie. I keep my my coins and my dice and stuff in, and I have a deck box, a little Mimikyu deck box. I take to events. I have a bigger one too that hold multiple decks, and for the leagues and stuff, I'll use that one because I might play multiple things. But if I'm going to an event, I have just that Mimikyu box that has just my deck in there, some extra sleeves, and my little baggie full of dice.
You're actually not supposed to keep your extra sleeves in your deck box.
I know that, and you know that, but no one says anything to you.
Right.
There's actually not supposed to be anything in your deck box, and a lot of people, a lot of events such as like your regional championships, they will give you a promo card when you get there. Usually it's a pretty cool promo card. The same thing you could get like a league cup or something of that nature, and a lot of people just throw that in their deck box to keep it safe. If that card ever gets mixed in, you are screwed. So
yeah, there was actually the first regionals I went to in Roanoke, Virginia, in like 2016 or something. Caleb Gedimer, I'm pretty sure he was the winner of that. He was getting deck checked before his top 8 or top 4 or something, and they call him up like on the announcer thing, and he's going through his deck. They go through his deck and like they show him his deck list, and then he picks up his deck box and throws it across the room because they were gonna give it like disqualify him from the top 4 because he was missing one of his cards. There was an energy card behind his extra sleeves in his deck, in his box. So he grabs his deck box, pulls it out, and then throws the deck box across the room.
Okay, so he proved that the card was there, then threw the deck box so that it wouldn't get dinked. Gotcha.
I don't know why he threw the deck box. He was probably mad that they were about to take $5,000 out of his pocket.
Yeah, I think I'd be angry too.
Not good sportsmanship, though. Not the not in the spirit of the game.
Which could have resulted in a penalty as well. But and
it might not be Caleb Gedimer. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure
you heard it here, folks. Duck hates Caleb Gedimer.
I didn't know the names as well as I do now back then, so it might not have been Caleb Gedimer.
So if anybody wants to reach out,
throw him under the bus if it wasn't him.
If anybody wants to reach out to Caleb,
no, don't.
If you reach out to Caleb, you can find Duck on Twitter at Blue Duck Gold Duck without the E. Look forward to hearing from you, Caleb.
Don't at me.
Don't at me, girl. All right, before we jump into VGC, I got nothing for Pokemon Go this week, other than everything we went over last week. But, the Duck's second love in life, for a short period of time, he had a summer fling with it. And yeah. Pokemon Masters is running a special event.
Yeah, they are. And if you downloaded the app when it came out, I highly suggest you log back in. I got like 10k gems just for logging back in because they backlogged and stored every bug fix they did from like so long ago. So definitely log back in before you lose that stuff. I don't know how long it stays in your inbox, but 100% log back in.
So what's the event we got going on here?
A couple of weeks ago, maybe like 2 months ago, they teased that they were going to have a event with a legendary Pokemon and a trainer. And so I'm like, it's got to be, it's either N and one of the dragons from Black and White or Giovanni and Mewtwo. And turns out it's Giovanni and Mewtwo at the same time as they're doing the Giovanni event in Pokemon Go. So I don't know how much of a coincidence that is.
Well, the image that you sent me, which is an official image from Dina, is the legendary event, Lurking Shadow, Giovanni and Mewtwo, which, when you load the app up, there is actually a video that plays now of Mewtwo. But if you look at Giovanni's his little get up there, he's got the Rainbow,
Rainbow
Rocket. Yeah, he doesn't have.
I just realized that.
Yeah, he doesn't have regular Team Rocket stuff. He's got Rainbow Rocket on. So, might be sticking this with the whole online gaming with storyline they came up with for Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Multi-universe thing.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the only instances canonically where he has Mewtwo, because in the anime, Mewtwo, ran away from him after a little bit, and then in the games, he actually didn't catch it. So,
well, I just got
that might be why they're.
I just logged in. I got 3,000 gems. So, so that works. I got 3,000 gems. Oh, I got 300 bonus for another 100 for logging in. I'm not sure I'm going to get any more or not.
There's like an inbox thing. Hit that.
I will when we're done. So
I don't know how many I had before I started, but I have like almost 20K now.
Outstanding. So yeah, if you haven't got your gems, folks, make sure you do that.
Oh, and then the event is just like co-op battles. There's like a little story thing they added, but I didn't do any of that. There's co-op battles you can do where you get like 20 to 30 Giovanni items, like tokens, and then if you get 800 Giovanni tokens by the end of the 10-day period, or however long it was, maybe it was like a 15-day period, then you get Giovanni and Mewtwo as the sync pair.
Outstanding.
So I was able to get to halfway, just not really paying attention, and whenever I noticed that my 2 accounts were done with the raid, I would just click and do it again.
Yeah.
So you could conceivably do it in one day. You get a boost every day though. So,
well, I did just get another about 2,000 gems from bug compensation, is what it's saying.
Yep.
So it's real, folks. Get in there and get your gems. Maybe make a little bit of a comeback on Pokemon Masters.
I'm just banking all the gems now until they release Red. I'm letting a lot more content come out before I play more story mode too.
Well, that and we are both a little obsessed with Sword and Shield at the moment.
Yeah. How many hours do you have logged?
Oh, I don't even know. I'd have to look. I haven't looked at it. I think I might disgust myself if I look at it too much.
I peaked 180 today.
Jeez, it's a full-time job.
Is it?
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess it's more than a full-time job. It's been out for 3 weeks now.
Oh my lord, it is.
So it would have been 120 hours for a full-time job.
All right. Yeah, so I want paid Pokemon. Give me it up. So, okay, moving on to VGC, which has, been our big thing for a longest time now. It looks like Pokemon has come out with the rules for 2020. Pokemon Sword and Shield will start being the standard format as of January 4th, 2020. So if you Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, if you go out there and find your premier events, get one more in while you can, because we're switching over, folks. Get yourself a Switch. So here's a quick rundown of everything. All battles, again, will be in a doubles format. You will be able to play on the Switch or the Switch Lite. You can have a physical or a digital version, whichever you prefer. All Pokemon must be caught in the Galar region, and they must have the Galar symbol on their summary. All Pokemon from the Galar region Pokedex are permitted except for mythical and certain legendary Pokemon, which we don't have a specific list on that at the moment.
It's Zacian, Eternatus, and
Zamazenta. Yeah, that's what it'll be. All Pokemon will be set to level 50, including Pokemon below level 50. Duplicate Pokemon are not allowed. Duplicate held items are not allowed. Each battle will begin with a 90-second team preview phase, and players will have 7 minutes of your time, 45 seconds of move time, and now returning to the VGC, 15 minutes of game time in each battle. There's also going to be restrictions on certain moves and whatnot, but our big thing is as of January 4th, the following are the only Pokemon with Gigantamax factors that are permitted to compete. So we are actually going to allow the Gigantamax in. I gotta
eat Honchcrow for that one.
Honchkrow, really?
Yeah. Last week I said that normally they don't update what's allowed. They just let it, if it's broken, they just let it be played for a while. But they actually say they're going to update which Gigantamax Pokemon are allowed.
So as of right now, you can use Butterfree, Corviknight, Dreadnought, Centiskorch, Meowth, Pikachu, Eevee, Snorlax, Sandaconda, and Charizard only if it has the ability Blaze.
Yeah. So they're actually treating them kind of the way they treat mythical Pokemon. The reason they never let people use the mythic Pokemon, not because they're OP, like Mew, Jirachi, Celebi, that group of Pokemon, isn't because they're too strong. It's because that's not a fair chance for everybody to get one because they only release them for certain time periods. And so they're kind of treating the Gigantamax Pokemon like that because the only ones they're letting us have are the ones that have boosted rates or the ones that are given to you in the game.
I don't know why, but when I loaded my game up, it took me a while to figure out where you go to get your Pikachu or your Eevee, depending if you had Let's Go. And I had a Let's Go save, so I got an Eevee. And it has perfect IVs across the board. It's a, perfect 6. And I did some, when I was just running around the wild area, I'd catch everything, and I'd throw it all into Wonder Trade just to try to get some stuff. And I didn't realize it until like a week later when I was just going through checking IVs on stuff. Someone traded me their Pikachu. So I have I got perfect IV Pikachu, perfect IV Eevee. Awesome. I think the only other Gigantamax.
Gigantamax, right?
And a can Gigantamax, yes.
Yeah, that's so lucky because, and that's another thing. How is it a fair chance for everybody to get the Pikachu if you have to pay for it to get the Pikachu? You had to buy Let's Go Pikachu to get the Pikachu. So there's going to be some people that don't have it and don't really have a way to get it without spending $60.
Well, you know what's actually kind of irritating the crap out of me when it comes to that paywall for the Pokemon? Mew.
You paid for Mew and you can't get Mew?
Yeah, I have Mew in Let's Go. Big deal. If they had told me, if you hold on to this and don't redeem it for Let's Go, you can have it in Sword and Shield, I wouldn't redeem the stupid thing.
But then people wouldn't buy a second one.
I'm still not buying a second one.
I know. I'm gonna be insulted if they let Mew in tournaments.
So will I, but I'll also be extremely mad if when Pokemon Home comes out, if I'm not able to transfer that sucker to Sword and Shield.
Oh, you probably will be.
Better. I still haven't got a Charizard yet, but I think the only Gigantamax I have is Pikachu, Eevee.
You don't have Charizard?
No. I still got to do that.
Go to Hop's house.
Oh, really? That's all you got to do?
Pokeball sitting in the middle of Leon's room, and it has a Charmander that can Gigantamax in it.
Are you freaking serious?
Yeah. You can also get one from a raid.
Well,
I'm thinking about trying to get a shiny that can Gigantamax from a raid.
That'd be kind of cool.
I did a raid with one, and I was in this group. I won't name anybody, but they have somebody mentioned that they had a shiny 6 IV Gigantamax Charizard, and then they throw it out in the raid, and it was in a Pokeball, and I'm like, yeah, you really caught that. You really saw a Gigantamax shiny Charizard and was like, I'm gonna throw a Pokeball at it. I imagine it was hacked.
That's sad.
But I didn't call him out. I just let it go. But
that's sad.
Plus, everybody in that group has not 6 IV Dittos, but perfect special and perfect physical Ditto. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Sure you do.
Yeah.
I got a whole box full of Dittos. Ain't none of them exactly perfect.
I did get one that was exactly perfect for physical, but I didn't get any 5 IV Ditto after that at all.
Well,
so that was just dumb luck. But get dumb lucky twice? I don't think so. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, but who knows?
Okay. Well, we talked about this at the beginning of the podcast with Galar Beginnings. Did you notice anything hinky with it?
What do you mean?
I've noticed a lot that, especially true with Japanese players I'm playing against, but not necessarily just Japanese players.
Teams of all shinies?
I've been seeing teams of all shinies that have awesome stats, but I've also been seeing where the picks and the moves and everything goes until the very last possible second. and it's not just auto playing. They're making purposeful moves, but it's something ain't stirring the coffee, man.
You think people are using bots?
I don't know if they're using bots or if they're just running some kind of calculator program, and they're
There's damage calcs. That's the thing. Yeah, you can't. There's not even a rule against that.
No, I didn't say that there was. I'm just something wasn't right. I mean, and it's the fact that it was literally the last second every single time. I'm almost thinking it was a bot.
I mean, I did hear a rumor that there were bots that people were using to battle, so I don't know.
Yeah, but the shiny teams were a little like, really.
Well, so I got a shiny Charmander this week, and it's perfectly compatible, or compatible.
Compatible.
Yeah, it's competitive Pokemon now because I just use bottle caps.
Yeah, and bottle caps are a limited resource, so you got to be careful with them. But they're definitely a resource that you're gonna want to utilize in competitive play, folks. So don't just throw them on something because you like it.
Yeah, just because you have a team of shinies now doesn't mean you're cheating. Some people do put in the work to get a full team of shinies.
Some people need to get laid. Oh, jeez. But so yeah, I mean it's definitely a possibility. It's just it seems a little outside the realm of likelihood, in my opinion. Now, when I was playing Galar Beginnings today, I did come up against a team of all Eevees. It was all evolutions.
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought that was kind of
and I don't think they were trained either.
No, they weren't, and I thought it was cute. I thought it was cute. But at the same time, it's like I kind of felt bad for the person because they actually went in there seriously thinking, "Yeah, I'm into Pokemon," and then I guarantee you, they didn't win a match.
Feels bad. I've counted a team of all non-fully evolved Pokemon, and they were all shiny. Well, the 3 they brought were shiny.
Yeah, a lot of people did that too, where they were just playing 3. They weren't playing the full 6. It's like, gee, I wonder what we're going to be playing against.
Hey, sometimes you don't need anything else. If you just bring Mimikyu, you basically win if they don't have Mimikyu. So
yeah, they could be running Silvally.
That's why I decided to quit. The problem is Mimikyu still shreds whatever. Like, you can't switch on the Mimikyu.
What do you mean you can't switch?
Like, if you switch and Mimikyu's still out, then
it's gonna shred the next one.
Yeah. So you gotta whatever's out when Mimikyu comes out. If it's not Silvally, it's done.
Okay, so we're the Galar Beginnings is over, and Duck is swearing off singles competition. So tell us a little bit about your team. What was wrong with it? What was the problem?
My team was that I made a Silvally that could deal with. It could equally trade with Dragapult, Mimikyu, and what's the other ghost type? Aegislash. I didn't see any Aegislash at all.
I did. Saw quite a few of them actually, but it wasn't until day 3 that I started seeing them.
Right, and then so a couple walls gave me problems. I know they gave you problems too. The
Corviknight was giving me some issues.
Corsola, I couldn't really deal with Corviknight. Corsola was bad.
Corsola and Togekiss were giving me issues.
I can deal with Togekiss. Togekiss is fine. I start Galvantula most of the time to do sticky webs.
I had the Galvantula. I had it with sticky webs. I don't think I used it a single time.
Yeah.
That's on me, though. That's me not knowing how to use it.
I didn't play competitive at all. Like, I did one competitive match with my team from X and Y in Sword and Shield, or in Sun and Moon, and I just got bodied by all these Pokemon where I didn't know what they were doing. So, I don't know what the Pokemon do. I didn't know Mimikyu. I knew that Mimikyu was very good. I didn't know it was this good, though.
I mean, I would have ran Mimikyu just because it's Mimikyu. I mean,
we put it on your team because you like Mimikyu. I didn't realize it was essential. And then I did not bring Haxorus is actually the best Mimikyu counter because it hits through the disguise with poison jab.
Oh, I didn't know it hit through decoy.
Yeah,
okay.
Its ability is Mold Breaker, which means its damage. The damage that it does is not affected by other Pokemon's abilities.
Okay.
So, and it's faster than Mimikyu, so you just click poison jab and it knocks it out in one hit. So I bred Axus today.
Of course you did.
Yep.
You know you're gonna be playing against me in the tournament at some point.
Oh, not just that.
Well, that you've developed a nice hatred of Mimikyu.
What?
You've developed a nice hatred of Mimikyu now.
A little bit. I mean, I understand it's good. I don't hate it. I just, because of my team was locked in, there was nothing I could do against it.
Yeah. So,
go ahead.
What do you have a strategy you want to talk about at all about going into doubles?
I would just do if at the beginning of the ladder, just do the Dracovish Tailwind thing. You're gonna get some free wins. I don't know how you deal with the mirror.
No, I'm talking about the team that you're gonna come up against, that you're creating for doubles.
I haven't really committed to anything yet.
So everything's pretty much on the board.
Right. Weather's something really good to focus on. Rain and sand are the best by far. I have seen some. There have been some sun teams coming up recently. But the meta is still working itself out. I'm gonna let it figure itself out before I really go hardcore into actually putting a full team together.
Yeah, because like I said, we do have a limited, in theory, number of resources to get those Pokemon up to the stats that we want without doing grinding ourselves into a second job. So you need to kind of be selective about what you're going to put those resources into, but everyone's like trying to do something right now. It's like we gotta and let them go, because that's going to be to my benefit, because they're going to define what the meta is, and then we can work our way into the meta or counter the meta.
There is a like a doubles tournament that goes on every weekend, so that's a good way of us seeing the meta. But I imagine now that we know the VGC rules, we're going to actually get a good team.
Yeah, now that we know we can use Gigantamax too, that's also very helpful.
Right. I'm thinking maybe Gigantamax Pikachu and Dracovish might be a good pair, because Pikachu will paralyze the opponents, which makes them slower than Dracovish, and then Dracovish can one-shot everything.
Paralyze is a bit of a misnomer. I don't think I wish they hadn't used that particular word, because you're not exactly paralyzed. You're sluggish. And sometimes you can't get stuff off.
You have a chance to not move. Yeah.
Yeah. But it also slows down too. So I mean, it's not paralyzed. It's just
Butterfree is probably also going to be a pretty annoying thing to deal with, because its G move does random status ailments. So you might get paralyzed. You might get put to sleep. You might get poisoned.
I have not ever played with it in my lineup, so that's kind of interesting to hear. I
got completely bodied by one, because it just uses sleep powder and it has crazy accuracy because of the Butterfree's ability compound eyes. So you just start out with sleep powder, and then you use Quiver Dance, because they have to switch or or not wake up. And then it has really high accuracy with Hurricane, which also confuses the opponent, has a good chance to confuse the opponent. So then they're asleep and confused. So even if they wake up, they might not still attack, and you can just use Quiver Dance as many times as you want, until you have a max.
Just smack them around all night long.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, I'm getting set up on by a Butterfree. It's great in singles.
Now, come doubles.
Butterfree out too. I think the G-Max move is going to be crazy in doubles.
Yeah, which with Gigantamax, it's it's crapshoot. You can't really breed Gigantamax.
If sand gets worse, then Butterfree gets better.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of sand, so that's definitely definitely gonna be in the cards for a little while anyway. Until, like I said, until we get to our first regionals, things are gonna be all over the board. After we've had our first regionals, where Sword and Shield is our standard, things will start evening out.
I can't wait to watch those Sword and Shield regionals.
Yeah, me too. I really am.
I'm interested in VGC right now because it's Legends, but once they change over to the rules, it's going to be exciting to watch. Maybe we'll try commentating.
Yeah, I think maybe the first regionals that comes out with Sword and Shield, we'll do a watch along with commentary. I think it'd be kind of fun to do.
That would be awesome.
It'd be a very long tiring day. And I might lose my voice again. And so last week on the podcast, we were, I was rough. I was real rough. And I had to let Duck kind of run with it for a while. And we actually ended up having the shortest podcast we've ever had. It clocked in like 45 minutes or something like that. And by the end, I had to listen back to part of it today because I've been uploading all of our past episodes onto YouTube that we, for the past month, haven't been doing because of the SOPA issues. Them being uploaded, I had to listen to the end to make sure I had the right file, and I heard just how horrible my voice sounded. The next
sound like SpongeBob when he needed some water.
Dude, the next morning when I got up, I could not speak for the first hour I was awake. I had no voice at all. I could, like, it sounded like a hiss. And that day, all the employees, I work for a city, all the city employees had to go downtown to decorate the main streets. And everyone's down there taking pictures. And it's not, I'm in Oklahoma, and it is not it's not a cold place. It's rather warm, and especially being used to Pennsylvania like I am. But I still had a balaclava on to cover my nose and my mouth because I didn't want to be coughing and hacking on everybody. But they're all like, "Why are you so cold?" I'm like, "I'm not. I'm have a t-shirt on." But the social media girl, I think she was getting frustrated with me because I was in so many places where she wanted to take pictures, but I was wearing a mask. But yeah, so I bled and I've lost my voice for this podcast. Oh, geez.
Poured our blood, sweat, and tears into this thing.
We are. If you listen to the audio version, or you're here for the beginning of the video version today, you'll have seen that there is now a disclaimer at the front that is there as a result of the SOPA stuff. We are going to upload our videos to YouTube. We are going to start doing that consistently again. The disclaimer is not going to help us any. It's not going to help us at all. I'm just going to put it on there because it makes me feel better. And the YouTube channel is going to remain unmonetized for the time being, just to see what happens. So if you want to watch it on there, you can still watch all of our replays on there ad-free. So enjoy. That being said, do you have anything else you want to throw out there this week, Duck?
No, just join our Discord. It's a great way to get hidden ability Pokemon you don't have, or really anything you need to complete your decks.
Yeah, our Sword and Shield.
Nobody's giving me any trade requests, but then they message me outside of the Discord to get stuff, and I'm like, go to the Discord.
Yeah, go to the Discord.
Let people see that I will give them stuff.
Yeah, really. I mean, our Discord, our Sword and Shield community, our Discord is getting really active. It doesn't cost anything. Just jump on in there and let us know what the rules you want to see for the Mount Moon Invitational. Because I'm going to be setting that up again probably next weekend. Big shout out to everyone who has helped with our Extra Life campaign that came to an end. We did break our goal, and we are sending out prizes this week. And also a big thank you to a big supporter of this podcast, also known as my wife, who is the reason we can't have the podcast on Monday night, because she will be taking her final tomorrow from this very chair. History will be made right here when she takes her final for her master's degree. So she is going to be done, and she is so looking forward to being done, but she's incredibly nervous about the test. But it's an online test. It's during a certain time period. So that's the reason we couldn't have the podcast tomorrow night. So I appreciate everybody that stopped in to watch it on a Sunday, and I appreciate Duck making the time to do it so that we didn't actually miss a week. So thanks, Duck.
No problem.
See that, folks? We're dedicated. Dedicated. You all need to be as dedicated as we are. Don't you ever forget it. All right, Duck, get us out of here.
All right, guys. Until next time, just remember, if it's too good to be blue, it's probably gold.
Have a week, folks.
Just because your card is magic, you think you're safe because you killed my life orb. Baby, do you dare to not flinch? at you like a dark pulse. I know you're gonna throw. You're gonna throw a storm. But I got that lucky chance. There's no critical hits.